Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. Welcome back to Excel User Series 4.0, our video number 11. And this video is a very, or maybe a unique video, I can say so, because for the first time we are not going to talk about any formula or function or comparison between two data sets and so on and so forth. In today's video, we are about to see what kind of errors that I might encounter in an Excel when I create an odd or a bad formula. So I defined a few of the formulas here, not all of them, because I read an article today morning when I woke up, and then it was really very nice. It's insightful too. So I felt that this deserves to be added as a video so that all my people who are following me, I have around 10,000 people follows me in my YouTube channel, in two different YouTube channels. So I want all of them to just I want to enlighten them on these topics so that this allows them to take those errors out of their equation, so that way it will make our life a little more easier for us to do it. So I'm taking only 7 errors out of the 9 that I've read. There are a few more errors that I wish to add here. So the next error that I saw, this is not a bad word. I'm not sure. I'm not scolding you in any way. So please pardon me if you feel something like that. So there is another formula that I see, and then this is a formula which is very different formula for me, because these are the formulas which not many people will come across anytime soon, because unless otherwise you are using Office 365 extensively, probably these formulas are not be a part of it. And again, in this formula I would like to add one more formula, which is called spill effect. So spill effect formula will also be a part of our list, so you can add this. So I'm adding only few of them here. Again, I'm going to give you the 7 of this. The spill effect I'll show you. So when I try to create a formula, I will show you in the subsequent video, not in this video rather, because this video itself will be a little bigger video, so it will take 10 minutes for us to learn all of them. So I will add the hashtag NOUD and then parse and then spill effects as we go forward. So I will teach you all these formulas one by one, or the errors that we are going to encounter. So each and every error comes with a list like this. So when I go for a div error mathematically prohibited errors. So you cannot divide a number with a 0. When you do that, definitely you'll get a hashtag div error here. And when you are giving a name, actually this is again maybe I can say that this you would have come across if you're using Excel for a very long time. Probably in 2003 version we might have faced this on a regular basis, but after 2003 version, if you are using if you're using Excel little properly, probably you will never encounter this error, the name error, def error and not applicable error, and all hashtag cells errors are commonly seen by all Excel users. Again, the number error is also a rare scenario, and then value error, I don't think unless otherwise we do something crazy in our formula, we will never get a value error. So the error that we will normally see is this and this and these two. These are the 4 errors that we will regularly encounter. The other errors are, we do encounter it, but again, this is, I don't think that we will get it in any of the new versions. If you are new to Excel, or if you are using Excel for a decade or so, still you wouldn't have seen this, because this would have been disappeared from 2007. So almost 16 years back, you have to go back dated to get these errors. But again, I'll show you how this error is gonna appear for us. Again, value error is something which we encounter when we are doing, which is weird in a formula. Again, we can avoid that if I started using the formula, if I know the formula syntax better. A number field is something which is again, when an Excel cannot absorb a data set, it does it. So I have a small worksheet which allowed me to go through all this process. So the first part is the div error. So when I try to divide a number, and probably if I know the total value of a product, and then I want to know what is the per cost price. So for example, if I say this is the quantity field that I have here, and I'm going to give the amount here, I would like to find out the rates of the product here. So now I'm going to just start with this and then start working on all these dimensions. Then I can just find out these data sets very easily. So where the div error will come into play. So when I come down in this data set, so let me just, I created this based on the previous cell, so let me just try to do this, and now we can see that the div errors will come automatically because I don't have any process as such, because there is no value available here. It considers this as a 0. And now I'm going to create this. I'm going to say this into this. Then when I populate this, you can see the data set comes in place for me. And if I divide this by this, then that's where my real data set will come into play. So I have a number field that really work with me. And then when I normally create a data set here, so I will see a div error that comes into play. So now I don't see any valuation that comes in place here. I multiply this. So I divide the data set in here, so you can see all the data sets are giving me a div error. So if I say 10, then it's going to give you the answer. If I say maybe 14, it's going to give you a different answer. If I say 12, it's going to give you an answer. If I say 0, it's going to leave a list. And when I go for a formula here, you will see the div error formula will not be considered in the list. So let me just create this formula one more time for us. You can see the cells references, it is not taking the data set. If I do that, then that's going to give a div error even in my output. So the system will be more sophisticated here. So you can see that the data set gives you the right answer for you in the list here. This is how a div error can be used. And when I come back to the name error, as I told you earlier, unless otherwise I add a data set. For example, if I'm normally giving a formula, I know all the formulas are going to come in a drop down menu. I'll just use that and then get an output out of it, and then I'll get the right formula most of the time when I try to do that. But if I add another M to it, so this is a very rare scenario which we will never do in our list, because most of them are given by system itself. When I give an enter, that's going to pop up a name, hashtag name error for us. For the referential field and for the not applicable functionality, I have created a small VLOOKUP functionality here. So let me just create this VLOOKUP one more time. I'm going to just say equals VLOOKUP functionality. I'm going to select this number, then I give a comma, and then select the whole data set here, and then lock it, and then I'm going to give a comma, and then select the number on top. Then I want to say an exact match and close the bracket and give an enter. That's going to show you a hashtag NA, because I don't have 106 formula as such. If I would have given maybe the approximate match, probably I would have get an answer for the last answer. But again, if it's an exact match, the system won't give you the answers there. And this is going to happen for me when I move this data set to the next list. So let me just, before I move the data set, I would like to create a few more cell references here. So let me add a column lock to it, and then I add a row lock here so that I can copy paste this formula to the next cell and find out the next error also. So now we can see that it's giving you the data set here, and it's giving you, okay, let me just pull this as a list. So I'm going to just say VLOOKUP. I want this data to come into play, and then I want taking all this data set F4 once. Let me lock it in both cells. I'm going to give a comma. I'm going to say 3, 0. So I'm manually filling that value. Then you will see an auto applicable comes into play. And if I don't have this, for example, if I'm taking this cell as a list here, and then if I can go down here, you can see the differences here. So when I pick up the data correctly, you can see that that data set gives you the right value, because when I choose the data set, when I give a 0A, then both of them will be a wrong value. When I give a 5, then it says that there is no third column data set. So that's why it gives you a ref error. So let me just convert that into a valuation. So you can use the keyboard shortcut here. So I'm trying to use the keyboard shortcut from Google Sheet. Again, I'm sorry, I'm teaching you Excel, but I'm using Google Sheet keyboard shortcut. It still works in Excel. Copy it, Control C, and then Shift Control V will paste special the data set here. So now if I change this to a list, I'll see both the errors, because I converted this not in from a formula to a valuation here. Again, this is a very rare scenario we get an error, unless otherwise I write something pathetic in my formula like this. If I normally use the formula here, so the system will understand that correctly, that it is a text, it won't consider that into calculation. But if I try to manually fill in those data with some valuation like this, then that's going to give you a very odd figure here called a value error. because I'm trying to add a text field in a numerical formula. The next point is the num error. Again, this is a real rare scenario when Excel cannot reproduce an answer. That's where we will get this list. So when normally, this is one of the example that the guy who gave this blog showed me. So when I try to do that, and I got the num error here. So you can see that Excel cannot calculate what is the power of 1000 into 1000. So Excel is getting bold out here because it is too large for the Excel to handle it. The same way, the next function which we regularly encounter is the hash point. Again, now I created a multiplication here, and then I got a scientific output of data set in this. When I reduce the column width to a lesser size, and you can see that it is going to showcase the data set. I don't consider this as an error. This is an error that occurs because we don't have enough space to showcase our answer here. That's the only reason why it shows the data set in this list. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you want to know more about the errors here, I will create a next error video also. So please do comment, and then give me a thumbs up, and subscribe my channel if you are new or you're seeing this for the first time in the YouTube channel. And if you feel that this is very useful for you, please share it with your friends and foes, and with your families too. By that way, every one of your known people or people you have encountered in your life will know something from you. They will appreciate you in the near future. We don't do this for appreciation, but knowledge sharing will grow our knowledge too. This is Vinod signing out from myself Academy YouTube channel, Excel User Series 4.0, video number 11. Happy updating, happy learning. Have a wonderful week end ahead and the weeks ahead too. Cheers. Bye bye.